This is a fan project. All material used are properties of their respective owners. I claim no ownership. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you and enjoy the video.
Hi everyone, Peter Asterisk here. It's been a while since the last video I made. About 2 months since then. Sorry it took me a while to make a new video. A lot of work stuff, a lot of life stuff, work stuff got in the way, and I have to prioritize that first. But thankfully I can make a new video now, since, this probably is pretty late, but after what, like 8 months or more, Shin Kamen Rider actually gave us some new stuff and a release date. And one of the few is a new, trailer. I'd say, it's trailer, but there's some new footage in the trailer and old footage too. There's some new footage, and I'd like to break that down and share my thoughts about it with you guys. So without further ado, let's jump into this trailer, shall we? Typical toy logo. This is old stuff from the old trailer, teaser, whatever you might call it. Now this is new, and I'll first off, I've already watched the trailer a few times, so I'm just gonna break it down. This part here. So as you can, I think this is a continuation, or maybe before the scene where Hongo actually opens his coat, see if he's still human or not, in the previous trailer, which I'll show later, I think, maybe. And I think this is pretty early on in the movie. I think because, one, he doesn't have the scarf. He does not have the scarf on. And in that scene too, in the first trailer, he does not have a scarf on. So I think this is starting off early in the movie, and Hongo's still shocked or still adjusting to the fact that he's not human anymore. There's some changes that I think are interesting in this particular scene. One of which, the most notable is the hand. He's still wearing the coat, so he's probably just taking off the gloves, and it shows his hand. It looks still humanoid, but the color is different. It's green to white-ish, and I think he has pretty long fingernails from this. It's a bit blurry, but the fingernails are quite long, and the most notable part is that he has, spikes on his arms. And what that indicates to me is that this is more so inside from the neck down. So I think starting from the collarbone down, Hongo's body and probably Hayato, Ichimonji's body, are like this. And it's not like robotic. It's more of a mutant-ish, biomechanical mutant-ish body. And it also, I think, more solidifies that it more, well, not more solidifies, it kind of confirms more to the fact that they can't actually go into civilian clothes. Like, they can't go around in normal plain clothes. Only their head is like, seem normal. Only their head seems normal. while their body is basically a grasshopper mutant and can't change back from the looks of it. Hence why they only wear coats in most scenes when they're not wearing helmets. Another interesting part, because of this route, it actually goes to it's actually kind of a reference. I think Ano is trying to reference the Kamen Rider novel, where Ichigo Hongo is literally a grasshopper mutant inside. He's a Bata man inside the suit, but it's more grotesque in the novel. It's he's basically Bata man, like Kamen Rider Black, the pre form of Kamen Rider Black, more like that. But aside from the body, I think the face will kind of change too. Why do I think so? Is because there is a comic going on, like I think a short series. It's being translated. It's pretty fast. It's being translated pretty fast. It's up to the current chapter, but I think the current chapter hasn't been translated yet. But I've seen the raw, uh, where it shows the shocker side of things, and it focuses on this kid, who I think is setting up to be a prototype for the writers. In the comics, also shows Kumo Otoko, Spider-Man, and Sasori. And this iteration is a woman, not a man, so Sasori Onna, I think. And they are enhanced humans, and this kid got injured trying to save them, and he got changed into a cyborg, a Kaizo Ningen, enhanced human. And I don't think this is the he's not a grasshopper mutant. He's just like enhanced. But in during times of stress, during his times of stress, if he got worked up or emotionally raised, he gets marks on his face, same surgical marks as Hongo. Like around here, there's a line, and here, just like the manga, just like comics, and they haven't shown that in live action yet. Those are primarily manga stuff. I do hope they show it though, because it shows that it shows more that they're not normal. They're not normal. They're changed mans. They're changed people. So yeah, that's again that's a deep cut from the novel. I think. I hope that's what Anno's going for with their bodies actually being grasshoppers influenced, actual grasshopper mutants. And let's move on to the other scene, and these are the same. The music is the same, but a bit longer. Now this is a different scene. We haven't seen this part yet. Seems like an industrial area, and this is also a different scene. Hango's actually putting on the mask. I don't see any scarf, but I don't know where this scene takes place. I don't know. So let's move on. There's not a lot of things I can break down because there's no hints or clues, I think. Do point that out in a comment if I missed something. Same. Now this is different. This here is different. This is the first showing, like, actual interact, like, well, no, the first teaser kind of teased the standoff between Ichigo and Nigo. But this actually shows more. And here shows Ichigo and Nigo is walking towards Hongo, Ichigo. And Nigo does not have a scarf. I don't see a scarf on Ichigo, but I do see a bit of red. Like, it might be the background, like there's some red pipings. It might be that, but I think this is later on. I don't think it would make sense if they knew each other before Hongo actually defected. That would be interesting, though. That would be interesting. So Ichigo is Hayato is meeting with Hongo in this scene, and Hongo and Ichimonji is clearly not wearing a scarf. And I think the scarf, the red scarf, is actually quite symbolic. And is teasing to be quite symbolic, like a sign or a symbol that you're against Shocker. Like in the, I'll show you a few of the poster later on. There's 3 posters. One with Ruriko. The second one is with Hongo and Ruriko, and the third one is with Ruriko and Ichimonji. And I think there's a meaning to that scarf. Why they put on scarves later on, and why Ichimonji got the scarf. And this scene is the first time we see Ichimonji clearly full suited in trailer without the coat and with the scarf, because in the first trailer there's a scene again for that where he does a pose in coat, in helmet, but there's no scarf. Here he has a scarf. What I'm thinking is this is actually like a passing of the torch moment, or Ichimonji actually joining the cause, defecting from Shocker to Hongo's side. Now these are a few new characters shown. Uh, okay, so it's confirmed in some infos that I read that this is Ruriko Midorikawa's brother, I think older brother, Ichiro Midorikawa. And there are some pictures that I might put somewhere here. A group shot with Ichiro, Ruriko, Hongo, and Spider-Man doing a group shot. So that might indicate that Ruriko is actually part of Gorgam at one point, which is interesting. And we what's okay? Scratch that Gorgam. Shocker! Wow, I'm mixing stuff already. Wow, shocker! Scratch that. My bad. So yeah, it shows all of them. Ruriko at some point was a member of Shocker, and before it was just the dad, Hiroshi Midorikawa, the doctor, Professor Midorikawa. But now I think it's all the families are connected to Shocker, and it seems like Ichiro is a higher. It does seem like he's in a higher position. Honestly, I thought this was Dr. Shinigami, but later on I got corrected. Honestly, I thought this was Dr. Shinigami, like Ika Devil. And this right here is our first in-trailer character reveal for who is under the Hachiona mask, the bee woman's mask. But I think it's more of a hornet now. Yeah, and there are some pictures that shows her full suit. She actually wears like a. She kind of looks like Oren Ishii for Kill Bill, basically. Like she wears a kimono, a full set kimono with robes that has a yellow honeycomb pattern on it, and instead of a rapier, she wields a katana, which is an interesting change, and I think it's a nice change. I have not looked up who played her, who she's being played by. I'm gonna look it up later. So let's continue on. And this is confirmed to be Ruriko and Ichiro's dad, Hiroshi Midorikawa. And this is the first clear shot face of Batman. Of Batman. No, I'm joking. It's Komori Otoko. But a rather interesting take. And I thought all of them are just wearing masks. All of them are just wearing masks. I really thought all of them are just wearing masks. The bodies are changed, but their face are just normal faces. Uh, and later I figured out why Kumo actually wears the Spider-Man actually wears the helmet because his face is fucked up in the manga. It reveals that he got severe burns in his face. And that's why he wears the mask. And I thought, okay, he got a face injury. That's why he hides his face. The rest might have normal faces. Not for Komori. His face actually got mutated into bat, which is disturbingly interesting. Disturbingly cool. Yeah. He got 2 sets of nose in there. And it seems that he had his default suit is basically Michael Jackson from Moonwalker, or for Kamen Rider references, Skull. He's basically dressed as Sogichi Narumi. Even with the hat, I'll put the image somewhere here. And it seems he's more of a scientist, not a fighter. But I do hope he fights with Ichigo later. I do not know who's playing him though. I'll look it up later. And this is still a tease for Sasori Onna. We got to see her costume, how she looks in manga form, but not here yet. Hachiona. We still haven't figured out who this is though. This is not Hiroshi Midorikawa. I am because of that I am going to say this is still a speculation. This is actually a Shocker head. What Shocker General? Either Dr. Shinigami, Colonel Zol, or Hell Ambassador. But I do think one of the ambassadors are dead based on the prequel manga, though. I mean, they could live. I don't know, but jury's still out on that. This is the image I say when Nigo was first shown in the first trailer. He's doing a pose, the henshin pose, but not wearing a scarf. And this is the first interaction, like the first standoff you see between Ichigo and Nigo. This is new. This is new. An exploding cabin, which I think connects to the first scene in the early scene in the teaser where Hongo is checking himself out to see if he's still human or not. Because that cabin looks pretty old and dilapidated. And okay, this is a very blink it and you miss it scene. Hongo, I think, is fighting someone, and there's blood actually spraying on his face. This, yeah, I approve this because if you do not know, if you do not know, early Kamen Rider, like early Ichigo stuff, were actually quite violent. Like the way, like episode 1, 2, up to I think before, I mean even the monster execution later on are kind of violent, but the first few were extremely dark and violent. Like the way Hongo killed Komori Otoko, Batman, during episode 2, he basically pile drive him from a third floor building. And his head popped. there was blood. So I do like that there's blood in here because the next the next had blood, but it was kind of like a shock effect. It doesn't really work. I don't know if the first did not have blood. The first did not have blood, like explicit showing of blood. Okay, let's move on. This is actually just blinking music scene, and this an actual recreation of the first episode scene where Hongo is being confront face off between Spider-Man and Ichigo with the shocker combatants lining up. And if you, I don't know, I think maybe I'll put the image to compare here, somewhere here or below the scene. The number of shocker combatants and the color correctness of the only two in the middle is 1-to-1. I mean, the suits are different. It's modernized, but the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the number of shocker combatants in the scene with the old scene compared to the old scene are the same, and there's only two red guys even in there too, and the two red guys are holding swords, and the rest are holding like batons. The same. The details Ano is putting through in here. The callbacks to details is astounding. So it actually shows like the original OG series. The Cyclone does transform. It does not. It's not two bikes. The uncovered one transforms, covers up into this version of the Cyclone, the six headlights one. And this is, I think, Ichigo and Ichimonji racing towards somewhere. Yeah, I think that's Ichigo and it's Ichigo and Igo racing off towards somewhere or chasing each other. And a rider kick. The trail ends with a rider kick, so it confirms that a rider kick actually is in the series. And so far, only Hongo has done this. I don't know whether he'll scream to the heavens when he's going to kick some fool rider kick. He's going to scream rider kick? I don't know. I do hope so. As to the camp, there's a need to be a bit of camp in this. Like, Shin Ultraman has a bit of camp, and it's enjoyable. Uh, yeah, there's a bit of camp in Shin Ultraman. I do hope there's also a bit of camp here, too. And that's the trailer. And it also ends with a release date. So we finally got a release date for Japan for Shin Kamen Rider. And it's and the release date for it is March 17th in select theaters. And the next day, worldwide, nationwide. I do hope it comes quite soon to Indonesia. I do want to watch that. I do want to watch that because watching Shin Ultraman needs to be experienced. Like, I'm just gonna say this. It's not promoting Shin Ultraman or anything. Shin Ultraman is better being watched in the movies. Like the sound quality, the bass of the music is better in a theater setting. So yeah, it was an experience, and I hope this becomes it does same for Shin Kamen Rider. So yeah, there is a 3 image for this trailer. So 3 posters at the start, and then another 2. So until there's 5 new posters. I'll show. So later on in here somewhere. Okay, let me Let me find the poster for a bit. So the first poster I'm going to put here is a poster for Ruriko Urikawa. And there's a few words in there that I've translated, that I've found to be translated. The giant one on the left side is called solitary, and then there's a sentence running vertically besides Rico that kind of says, "I've told you, I told you, I'm prepared." And this first three I'm going to show is actually interconnecting. There's this theme going on. The second poster is with Ruriko and Hongo walking towards a destination or something, and the giant text on the left says "trust," and it's the text that goes between them. The sentence that goes between them is basically translated as "to trust you," and to trust that, which continue to the next poster, which features Ruriko and Ichimonji. Here it shows Ruriko actually putting on Ichimonji's scarf. And I don't know if this is Hongo's scarf or if it's his own. If it's Hongo's scarf, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but is Hongo gonna pull off a manga? And the text on the left says inheritance, which is why I would think that. And the text that goes between them basically translate as to take your soul's freedom back. So if I connect all of this together, all the sentence in between together, it basically says that it basically connects as, "I've told you, I'm prepared to trust you and to trust that you'll take back your soul's freedom." Basically that. So it seems that from this, this poster is actually kind of unique because it actually focuses not on Ichimonji and Hongo, but Ruriko, which makes me think that the actual protagonist, not actual protagonist, that the first POV character that's shown here is Ruriko. Ruriko is our main. Yeah, definitely, she's our main heroine of the series. But I think she's the catalyst on why Hongo actually managed to get out and not his dad. This this made me think of that. The last two posters that were released is here. Okay. There's two posters that were released with this trailer. And the first poster I'm going to put here is a poster of Hongo in mask. And there's a few text here. But if you look closely at the poster, and if you do raise the brightness on the poster a bit, you can see Hongo's eyes on the slits of the mask, like the black parts, like the tear black parts of the mask, exactly like how they put the original helmets on. The text in this poster are there's two, there's actually three on the top left and the bottom left. The top left actually says things that change and continue on to the bottom, things that never change. And the bottom translates roughly as and the things I don't want to change. So things that change, things that never change, and the things I don't want to change. Very interesting stuff. And the second poster actually shows Hongo unmasked. And this poster actually made me feel a bit something because it shows Hongo. Uh, I don't know why, but I am interested to see Sosuke Ikematsu, the actor's performance for Hongo, because in the scenes that we got him unmasked, he shows the anguish, his tortured feeling of not being human anymore. And this poster actually made me feel that. I'm interested. I'm very hyped. I'm very interested to see this movie. That's the video for today for the breakdown. And for the Kamen Rider Black through the years is going to take some time because the amount of research that needs to be done is kind of time consuming. And with the way things are in my work and life and currently, it's not that I don't have time, it's that I need to prioritize on other things more. So please forgive me if that video comes out way later on. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for the next one. See you next time. Stay tuned. This is Federa Asterisk, and I'm signing off. Bye.